Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to walk you through what we like to do during a Washriding training set. It's just some archive footage that I haven't uploaded for a while, so you know, might as well walk you through it. And so yeah, you're really just looking at us preparing for the start. And so we get away pretty nice and clean, getting the boat speed up, just trying to reach forward and forward and forward. But you can see me here slow down because I want to let the other person to my right lead. He's got a name, he's called Tristan, and he's one of the more competent paddlers that we have. Yeah, and so as you just heard, I'm trying to get him to slow down the pace because some context here, we are chasing after a pair of other paddlers that started a minute ahead of us, and we're all pretty much even on pace. And so hopefully, right, we want to let them burn themselves out of energy before we can really catch them, and then by the time we catch them, hopefully we'll have more energy than them and we'll be able to catch them at the finish or at some point during this race. And so really the important thing right now is energy conservation, just stretching out the technique, trying to grab as much water as possible from the front, driving through with the legs, rotating with the body, and just overall just trying to be as nice and efficient as possible. And as you can see me here, because I'm the one on the wash, so I have the advantage of being able to relax a bit, enjoy and rest my energy for a bit. And here you see I'm trying to get the GoPro to stop recording, but it's not listening, so.
GoPro, stop recording!
And so we cut a bit later, and so we've made our first turn already, and we're heading back down towards where we restarted. And again, I'm still on the wash here because we planned ahead and we said we were going to do it in 3-minute intervals. So I've already done my leading bit, and this is actually after that. And so you can see me here just trying to relax a bit, trying to slow my breathing because this is after the turn, and so we've had to increase our speed post after the turn. Really, I'm just trying to get calmed down as much as possible because then that allows me to just be easier on my energy spending, allow me to be more efficient with technique. As you can see here on my paddler to the left, Tristan, he's doing a great job as well holding the pace, just pulling us along nice and easy, setting a good pace that we'll be able to catch them by.
Try for the red boat, the speedboat, see if we can get that.
Yeah, so as you just heard me say, we're chasing after a speedboat that's on our right.
Because that will help us massively.
Yeah, and it would help us massively because if that's the case, then we'd be able to catch, you know, a bit of a cheeky wash ride. And, you know, again, it's all about energy conservation.
GoPro, stop recording.
Being able to catch those in front just easier.
Stay close to the boys.
And so we're coming up to the second turn now, and so this is really crucial because as we can see up ahead, right in the distance, that is the second pair that we're chasing after.
Turn.
And so of course now everything matters. Now, okay, energy conservation, we've definitely spent less than them. We need to nail this turn so that we can get around it nice and easy, and by doing so that gets us right onto the wash that allows us to catch up. And so you see here, I break off his wash because that's right, there is a rope on the side. And you see the paddler right in front of us, Ethan, he gets caught in that rope. And so that's why I tell him to swing out, because then I do not want us getting caught on that same rope. And so now, of course, it's time to turn because then we're going to miss the apex. And you see that Tristan misses the apex. That forces us to run a bit wide.
We got him.
So anyway, we need to move wide either way because we need to... Yeah, because we need to move off onto the side wash, and then that allows us to catch up. Now, the way our course is set up is kind of interesting in the sense that it's a left-right kink here before we come onto the final turn back down the main stretch. So actually, being on this left-hand side isn't the most ideal because then we'd have the outside for the next turn. So really, I kind of want us to move... So really, I want to move us to the right of these two paddlers so then we control the inside and we have a shorter distance to cover compared to them. And so I'm really just dropping back on the wash now because I want to drop behind Tristan and come on his right, but the pace that we're doing right now doesn't really allow me to do that. And of course, we're currently fighting a headwind, which means that we have to spend more energy just to keep the same pace. So again, technique, energy conservation is the most important aspect to racing like this. And so the more energy we can save, the better position we'll be in at the finish. And so here, I'm trying to move up, trying to just force everyone over to the right because that would make my life easy. But then in the distance, of course, there are recreational rental boats, which are...
Go on Ethan's right.
Which are horrible. And so here I'm telling Tristan finally to cut across the wash, to move to the right, to make our lives so much more easier. Then we'll be able to get the side wash. And you see how much distance we've closed in. The fact that Ethan got caught on the wash has allowed, got caught on the line just now, has allowed us to catch up massively. And that means we're able to catch them so much easier at the finish. So now here I say, okay, it's interesting. I'm gonna switch over. I'm gonna take over because that means it's easier for us as a pair to be able to move off to the right, catch the side wash, and then just reel them in. And if we can catch them before the turn, fantastic, because that means we have the upper hand. That means we're more in control of the entire situation. That just makes everyone's life easier. And so I just turn to the right to just quickly check. Oh, Tristan's still there? Okay, no problem. Because I've been worried for him because he's done a lot of pulling, a lot of effort. I've been a bit of a parasite. And his energy conservation through the roof. Really, he's done as much as he could. And as you can see now, we're getting closer and closer and closer and closer. Moving, I need to move out to the right, and I'm on the side wash at this point. And so now I'm just trying to catch just before the turn. And we're approaching the turn now. There's a speed belt on the left, which slightly complicates things because that's completely disturbed water that we're about to paddle straight into. But as you can see, I'm catching up to Ethan already. Nathan on the left-hand side just pulling out ahead. And really, that's sealed it for us because we've caught them right before the turn, and we've caught them after a solid 15 minutes of sustained catching up. They had a minute advantage from us, and here we are. We've caught them just before the final turn.
Sorry.
And I get sucked in a bit to the wash, which, you know, it's not the smartest thing to do. A bit of contact on the front with the paddle, but no damage done. We move on. And so here I make the move to dive down the inside so I can block them or force them to take a wider turn, and I get to nail the inside apex as nice as possible. Swing out wide, hit both boys as nice and easy as possible, and get myself nice and set up for the turn. But in the spirit of competition, I decide to slow down a bit, you know, to turn around to let them to catch up. I could easily break away right here, but no. And so now this is where the wind becomes a massive factor because I'm smaller-ish compared to some of these guys, so I might have a bit more of an advantage with the wind, but at the same time I get blown away more with the wind. So yeah, this is us just heading straight down a 500-meter race course, and this is coming out to the finish, and this is completely going to be down to a sprint finish because you can't quite see it, but there are 4 of us in contention for the win right now. There's 2 on my back on my side washes, and Tristan I think is sitting on the back wash. And so really this is just me trying to slow down my heart rate, recharge, get prepared for the final sprint, but I want to leave them as little room as possible. I don't want to let them breathe. So if I can make my life easier, then it would just make everyone easy. So I slow down the pace because to control the lead coming into a finish is one of the more important things that you could do with racing. To let others, yes, they're on the wash, yes, they are maybe conserving more energy than you are, but they have to climb over that wave. But as you can see, Ethan on the right, he's like moved up to the side. He's come off the wash, which is a bit early to do so. Usually you want to let the paddler in front sprint first, so you have a nice wave to ricochet off, use it as a ramp to get towards the finish. But okay, that's Ethan on the right. He's pretty much matching me. And then there's Nathan on the left as well. Now it's 3 wide down the 500-meter course. Nobody's on. It's 4 wide because Tristan's on the right, and it's gonna get complicated really quick. So here I'm a bit content to actually drop back a bit, let them burn more energy than they really need to stay in front. But then Nathan moves to the right and Ethan starts to move to the left, and they're both being a bit cheeky about this. I'm about to get horribly sandwiched out in this field, so I need to start moving in front. I need to assert that this is my location. No one is going to take this. A bit of contact made with the paddles, but no harm done. And now we're moving forward, coming out to the last 50 meters, and then I'm just holding on to Nathan's wash. Now Nathan really is the paddler that we're looking out for in this situation, but we're coming up to the finish line. There's about 2 more boys up ahead, and then now is when we got to move, because Nathan starts to increase the pace, so we need to increase the pace, use the wash as a slipstream to almost to slide out in front, move as hard as we can right to the finish, and oof.
Oh, nice.
So Nathan just got that ahead of us. I'm not sure about the finishing positions behind. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you found this enjoyable, or maybe even a little bit informative. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, then make sure you look down right below where my name is to see that big red button that says subscribe. And hey, if you even found this enjoyable, then maybe take the time to press that, thumbs up button that says that you like this video. It really helps me out a ton. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.